How to find Airbnb property deals so fast that it feels illegal. What if I told you that there is a quicker way to find Airbnb deals when most hosts waste months hunting for the right one? I'm James Murphy. I've launched over 500 short-term rentals over the past 6 years across 4 continents. During this time, my Airbnb business has generated more than $25 million in bookings, and over the past few years, we've hosted hundreds of thousands of guests. But today I'll walk you step by step on how to find the best units with the greatest untapped potential for a short-term rental. Following this exact framework took me from desperate property hunting to having more deals than I could handle in just 60 days. I'm being deadly serious. And stay until the end for the word-for-word script that convinced a landlord to give me multiple luxury apartments. This script and pitching framework has helped us to acquire hundreds of properties that represent millions in revenue. This pitching framework is a gift from us to you today. My simple method for finding Airbnb properties. Finding properties isn't about luck or connections, but about having a proven system. When I first started, I was spending 15 to 20 hours per week just hunting for properties with really nothing to show for it. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to get this done in just a few hours a week with a higher conversion rate so that you can get on with making money and increasing cash flow. Back then, we'd just pulled our son out of school after a bullying incident, and I remember telling Steph, we've got to make this business work. That pressure made every wasted hour feel 10 times heavier. But today, my team and I spend less than 2 hours reviewing pre-qualified deals, while most hosts are still manually searching listings day after day. And it all starts with the first step of this deal finding system, creating a reliable agent network. Most people call one agent, maybe 2, and then they call it a day. They get discouraged because they get totally shut down. They wait for them to find something without giving anything in return, which is exactly why they'll still be looking months later. Instead, I want you to partner and recruit a team of local agents who will send you off-market deals before anyone else sees them. This creates your opportunity to get in on the deals before they even go public. Here's how to do it. Make a list of every single real estate agent or estate agent in your target area, then call them and say these exact words. I'm looking to take on multiple properties for short-term rentals. I can move quickly, I have proof of funds, and I'm ready to sign this week. If you send me a unit that meets my criteria, I'll send you $250 as a thanks. This script instantly positions you differently from every other host the agent talks to. I've had agents call me even at 9 p.m. because they wanted to tell me about a listing before it even hits the market. What's interesting about making this pitch is you don't necessarily need to be ready to go that moment, because the truth is most agents will have properties that don't really meet your criteria. So that still gives you the benefit of time to figure things out as new perfect properties start to come your way. You've got them on board with the idea of working with you, and now it's about refining the perfect property that they can bring your way. These future properties that they will place in your lap, you may not have even realized existed if you hadn't contacted these agents and built this relationship in the first place. Now, once you've made friends with these agents, and I do mean that, you want to become friends with the agents, you want to build rapport with them, you want to have a connection with them, take them for lunch, take them for a dinner, take them for a coffee, and build that relationship. Relationship is key to everything. In fact, I call it $1 million partnerships. I've had one agent alone bring me over 50 properties. That represents millions a year in revenue. So now it's time to move forward to the second step, conducting strategic market research. So now, with agents sending you options, let's talk about how you separate the ones worth pursuing from the ones that are wasting your time. This approach is about identifying specific pain points of property owners that will make them eager to work with you. The first clue: look for rental listings that have been active for more than 30 days. These landlords are already feeling the pain of vacancy, and they're much more open to creative solutions than someone who just listed yesterday. You can create a simple Google Sheets tracker to track these rental opportunities, or you can put it into a CRM system, a customer relationship management system, to take it even further. You can work with ChatGPT to help you coordinate the whole project. Note down their asking rent, how long they've been on the market, and any clues in the listing that suggest their pain points. Are they struggling to find long-term tenants? Are they managing the property from afar? These are opportunities for you to provide solutions that no one else is offering. The third step that will transform your deal flow is to create your online presence. Most Airbnb hosts neglect their online presence, but it's critical for attracting deals on autopilot. Create a simple professional website that positions you as the go-to short-term rental expert in your area and not just another host. Include references and testimonials from other landlords where they illustrate how you've helped them to protect their yield with a slightly above market rent, and how you've taken their property for 3 to 5 years, which has decreased their vacancy and void periods. Likewise, any agents that you've worked with on other deals, get them to talk about how you made that deal so easy for them and put it on paper so that you can take that with you to a future agent that you'll collaborate with. Finally, close the loop like a professional and run targeted ads to landlords in your area. Now, you might hear targeted ads and think it sounds complicated, but it's way simpler than you'd think. The basic understanding of how to launch simple Facebook and Instagram ads can often be understood in under 2 to 3 hours through free resources already available online. You can start with one ad that says, "Landlords, stop dealing with tenant headaches. Learn how we guarantee your rent for the next 3 years." I spend about $300 per month on these ads, and it generates about 30 leads a month, with 10 to 20% being qualified, which brings along about 3 to 5 qualified landlord leads. Now remember, this is every week, so these landlord leads stack up very quickly and build your pipeline. The return on investment can truly be incredible when you consider that just one property can generate thousands per month in income. So you've invested just a few $100s, got multiple leads, you convert just one of those, and the return comes back to you for years on end. And if you want my exact ad script and landlord funnel checklist, I've dropped the agent and landlord persuasion playbook in the comments and description below. This is the exact playbook my team and clients use to secure properties day in, day out. And the beauty of it is that you can start with as little or as much as you want. The final and fourth step of your automated deal machine is to build a strong referral network. We already did agents, now I'm talking about property managers, maintenance workers, and even other Airbnb hosts who might be too busy to take on new listings. This is the way that I do it. You offer a compelling finder's fee for any referrals that lead to a closed deal, whether it's securing a long-term lease, for rental arbitrage, or a management agreement. By doing this, you transform these industry contacts like mortgage brokers, property architects, property consultants, property lawyers, property accountants into motivated partners actively looking for opportunities on your behalf. Also, these deals often come pre-vetted because the referrer knows what you're looking for, but they also know what the landlord needs. To summarize, you built your agent network, conducted strategic market research, created your online presence, and activated your referral network. So now your machine is firing on all cylinders. But how do you stop yourself from drowning in bad deals? That's where my 5-minute filter comes in. How a 5-minute analysis can eliminate 90% of bad deals. If you spend a week analyzing each property, the opportunity will be gone. When deals start flooding in, you'll face a critical moment in which most hosts fail, separating the gold mines from the money pits in minutes, not weeks. Here's my 5-minute analysis that immediately identifies the most profitable units and filters out the time wasters. It's divided into 4 simple steps so you can understand it clearly. The first step of my quick analysis system is a profit threshold test. It's simple. Monthly revenue divided by monthly rent equals your revenue multiplier. If this number is less than 1.8, I immediately pass on the listing. If it's between 1.8 and 2, it's in a maybe category. If it's between 2 and 2.5, it's likely to be profitable. Anything above 2.5 to 3 is excellent. Anything above 3 is a world-changing opportunity. For example, if a unit market rent is $1,000 per month, I want to see at least $2,000 in monthly Airbnb revenue potential. This ensures I have enough margin to cover all expenses and still generate significant profit. Now, to estimate the revenue quickly, I also use Airbnb to check the average daily rate and occupancy for similar properties in the area. Multiply the average daily rate by the occupancy rate and the number of days in the month. When my wife Steph and I were launching our first few properties in the UK, we initially guessed the potential revenue. it was a big mistake. We'd look at a handful of similar listings and make assumptions that often turned out to be wrong. And this simple formula has saved us from dozens of potential money pits while helping us identify opportunities our competition completely missed. The second step of my quick analysis is the location checklist. There are 4 key factors I assess to determine a unit's potential based on its location. Firstly, proximity to attractions and local business centers, the walk score, which is essentially how far you are from key amenities, the safety rating for the neighborhood, and finally, transportation access. I assign each factor a score from 1 to 5, and if the total is less than 15, I move on to the next property. All in all, this takes me less than a minute to complete. The third step is about validating demand in the market. This is a 2-minute process for gauging true demand and predicting occupancy rates. I check 3 key indicators. Firstly, seasonal fluctuations in the area. Growth trends. Is demand increasing or decreasing? Supply saturation. How many new listings are entering the market every single month? If an area shows increasing demand, minimal seasonality, and reasonable competition, it passes the check for me. This simple, rapid validation step is incredibly powerful for quickly filtering potential opportunities and focusing your efforts on markets where your Airbnb business is most likely to thrive. The fourth step of my quick analysis is stress testing profitability. I need to ensure that a unit remains profitable even during the lowest occupancy months. I want to make every effort to ensure that the property can still break even in the lower occupancy months. I calculate the absolute minimum occupancy rate needed to break even and then compare that to the historically lowest occupancy rate for that area. If the break-even occupancy is higher than the historical low, I pass on the property. If it's lower, the unit moves forward in my evaluation process. And using this 5-minute analysis system, I can quickly sort through dozens of potential deals and identify the true winners. And I'm not the only one using this. Mush and Jasmine absolutely crushed it with the 5-minute analysis system. They joined our community with 0 prior experience, and now they're reviewing over 30 deals a week while others are still stuck in analysis paralysis, and they've multiplied the growth of their portfolio rapidly. Now you have the complete deal finding machine and the rapid analysis system to filter through opportunities in record time. But here's where most people hit a wall that stops them dead in their tracks: getting the landlord to actually say yes to your proposal. This is the make or break moment that separates those who talk about building an Airbnb empire from those who actually do it. I want you to stay with me here because I'm going to show you exactly how to transform skeptical landlords into eager partners. This is the exact framework I've used to secure hundreds of properties when other operators were shown the door. How to turn not interested landlords into partners. Let me tell you something nobody else will. Finding listings is only 20% of the battle. The real money is made in the few minutes you spend in front of that landlord, and if you do everything right, you can walk away with the keys right there. So let's start with the first pillar in closing landlords. The first step is investigation. Most people make the mistakes of using the same generic pitch for every single landlord. Instead, you need to research the landlord's specific pain points and structure your presentation around solving their problems. Part of this just comes from asking the right questions, thinking about the common challenges like vacant units, unreliable tenants, late rent payments, maintenance headaches, and the time commitment of the day-to-day management. Your investigation should aim to uncover which of these are most pressing for this specific landlord. Look them up online or speak to their current or previous tenants and learn everything you can about their rentals and management style. Then customize your pitch to address their situation. Once you have it, we move to the second foundation of my persuasion framework: objection handling. You need to proactively address common landlord concerns and demonstrate how your unique approach mitigates their risks. These are the most common objections and how to deal with them. Property damage. Show them your triple layer protection system: guest screening, security deposits, and comprehensive insurance coverage. Noise complaints disturbing neighbors. No landlord wants a phone call from the neighbor complaining about what's going on in the property. So I showed him our silent, privacy-friendly noise monitoring system and how we've maintained a 0.3% complaint rate across our listings by addressing potential issues instantly. Legal and insurance complications. We provide documentation confirming compliance with local regulations and demonstrate how our specialized insurance protects their asset. Loss of control and guest screening. We explain our thorough guest vetting process and transparent communication protocols. Income inconsistency and risk to rent payment. Address this by highlighting your strong booking forecast and ability to pay rent reliably regardless of occupancy fluctuations. By the end of our meeting, he couldn't think of a single objection I hadn't already addressed. Successfully addressing these concerns builds trust and removes doubt. And when objections are handled, the conversation naturally shifts to the clear financial and management value that you bring. And the third pillar is about presenting the benefits loud and clear. This is about shifting the focus from price to value by presenting a comprehensive benefits package that outshines the competition. Most Airbnb operators focus on offering a slightly higher rent. Instead, I create a full value package that includes guaranteed rent, paid on time, the same day, every single month, regardless of occupancy, professional property maintenance and upgrades at no extra cost to the landlord, regular professional cleaning and inspection reports, lower tenant turnover and wear and tear compared to traditional rentals. Pro tip: when you meet with a portfolio owner, calculate the exact value of these benefits, write down the number, and show it to them so they can actually see how much more you are going to add to them and to their balance sheet in earnings. The fourth and final pillar of my landlord persuasion framework is what I call having the win-win negotiator. This is about utilizing creative deal structures that create mutually beneficial outcomes and overcome impasse. For example, if a landlord wants a higher rent than you can profitably pay, offer a base rent plus a percentage of profits over a certain threshold. This is a powerful tactic because it protects your downside while giving the landlord upside potential and a stake in the success of your short-term rental operation without them having to do any of the hard work. This creative negotiation is key to unlocking deals others can't get because you're offering solutions and incentives beyond a standard rental application. In summary, this 4-component landlord persuasion framework provides a systematic step-by-step approach to turning hesitant property owners into enthusiastic partners. By diligently applying each of these elements, you're equipped with the strategies needed to confidently secure lucrative property deals, building a foundation for a soon-to-be thriving Airbnb business and portfolio. At this point, you're armed with the blueprint, strategies, and tools to absolutely dominate the short-term rental space. And now it's time to step out and start building your Airbnb empire like the property mogul you are meant to be. Don't forget to download your agent and landlord persuasion playbook in the description and comments below, and click on this next video to continue with your Airbnb business journey. I'll see you there.